What is up, YouTube? It is Ninja Cracker here, and yes, I did pick up Star Wars. I could not pass up it for only $7 on the PlayStation Store for Black Friday. And I want to make this video not as a hate video or anything. I love Star Wars, definitely a gigantic Star Wars nerd. But this game honestly does not live up to the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 on PS2. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about that game and exactly what it was and how it's different from this game. Okay, so on PS2 there was very rarely anybody that actually played online. I mean, you had to have an Ethernet cable to connect to online multiplayer. It didn't connect to Wi-Fi or anything like everything does today. But on there they had a thing called instant action where you could set up the maps you want and you could just play against bots. I mean, honestly, I never even heard of multiplayer at the time. You know, I played Battlefront 2 on PS2 when I was just little, and I played it like every day after school, all day. And I just loved it. I never really thought much about that I was just going against bots or anything. I mean, you know, it was just me playing the game, and they had some of the coolest maps, and it really had a Battlefield type loadout. How there were certain classes, I mean, you couldn't, it had very limited customization. You couldn't change the guns on the classes, like the classes just had their guns. I mean, there's like an engineer, an assault, a heavy guy with an LMG. And you know, it was just like the standard Battlefield classes, like for normal Battlefield games, but it was Star Wars, and it was just awesome, and I just loved it. And this game, I really like the way this game feels. This game feels, the combat-wise, feels exactly like it, and I absolutely love that about that. Love that about this game. And also, the Battlefront 2 on PS2 had the Clone Wars in it too. And I'm kind of disappointed this one doesn't have the Clone Wars. Like, why? Why wouldn't you include the Clone Wars? I mean, that's definitely a big part of the Star Wars universe, and a big part. I mean, you think of how many cool maps, like Geonosis, and like cool maps from planets, but were really only during the Clone Wars. What else do I want to talk about? The vehicles, like you could just hop right in a vehicle. I mean, it was just like how normal Battlefield games are. You could just hop right in a vehicle and go on your merry way. I like the introduction of the star cards. I think it's really, I know this isn't an exact sequel to Battlefront 2. I know this is kind of like its own game, but the star cards are pretty cool. I like them. They're different. And the biggest probably complaint that I have between these two games, Battlefront 2 on PS2 and Battlefront on PS4, is there's no campaign. Like, what? What? No campaign? This game released in, what, 2015, and they didn't make a campaign? I know that they really rushed this game to try to push it to where it released the same day as the Star Wars movie. And first off, I want to say that is stupid. That is very stupid. You shouldn't rush any game just because a movie came out, and people aren't just going to buy this game just because the movie came out at the same time. I mean, even if you release this game probably about a month after the movie came out, I mean, that's not hurting you at all. I mean, sometimes I think they just have little kids, like, to just, like, try to predict the sales department and just, oh, we have to release this on the same exact day of the movie. I don't care if you guys can't make a campaign or finish the multiplayer. We just gotta throw it out there. I mean, honestly, this game could be so much better. I love this game. I'm gonna say that. I mean, it really feels like the original, and I really like it in the way that it feels like it's the original. But I also don't like the way I just feel like this game's been half-assed, honestly. I mean, there's no instant action. There is like a horde mode where I guess you can like co-op, go against bots, or even solo if you want to, but there's no like instant action. Instant action is what, I mean, Star Wars Battlefront 2 on PS2 was before its time. Like, that game, like, you could go in there and pick, like, choose like a playlist of maps you wanted to play on, and then just go against bots all day and then just cycle through the maps. And it was just the coolest thing. It was before its time. It was before all this multiplayer stuff, and it was just the coolest thing. and it really saddens me to see that it's become just this like half-assed, where they don't, when your game releases in 2015 doesn't live up to I don't even remember the original one, the date the original one released. It was the 2000s, I think. But when it doesn't live up to a game that was released in the 2000s and it's 2015, I mean, there's a problem there, and it makes me sad. I just wish this game could be, this game has the potential to be so much more than what it is, and I don't know. This is kind of just like a random rant. Let me know if you guys want me to live stream some Star Wars, or just upload more Star Wars. I mean, it's kind of late in the game to do any gun reviews or blaster reviews, rather. But let me know if you guys want me to do any of that Star Wars stuff. Of course, my channel's mainly Titanfall. It's always been based on Titanfall. When I first started it, the first video I uploaded was a Titanfall tech test montage. But I'm trying to think of what else. I really like the way the gameplay itself works out. I honestly thought that I would hate the third person, but I find I can't talk right now for some reason. I find myself loving the third person for some reason. I don't know why. It's just so, I don't know, maybe because the maps are so huge and it's just easier to be more self-aware. Or that's another thing too. Like, these maps are ginormous. I mean, I think by default it only has like 6 maps. There's like 3 or 4 planets, but 6 maps. There's like 2 maps for each planet. But these maps are like ginormous. Like, they're bigger than Battlefield maps. And the original Battlefront 2, the maps are about the size of Battlefield maps. And these ones they're probably about a Battlefield map and a quarter. I mean, they're like huge. Another thing is, where's the conquest? There's no conquest in this game? What? What? I loved conquest in the original, and I just love conquest in general. I mean, this is just a rant video in case you haven't already figured that out. And if you're still watching, these are mainly my complaints with the game. But no conquest? What? I loved conquest in the original Battlefront. I played conquest on Battlefront 2 before I ever played it on any of the Battlefield games. Like, what? I don't understand that. Why isn't conquest in the game? Another thing is, why isn't, oh, I can't think of what it's called. It was on the Star Wars PS2. It was like Hunt or something, but it was the indigenous species of the planets. On the certain maps you played on, like on Kashyyyk, you could play as the Wookiees versus like these commando droids, and it was just the coolest thing ever. And on Tatooine, you could be the Sand Troopers versus the Jawas, and it was just the coolest thing ever. Why isn't there anything like the indigenous species on here? I know you have the heroes, but it's hard as hell to find the hero power-ups to actually become the hero. And then when I actually do get to be the hero, I feel like I die a lot faster than anyone else than these people that like sit back and camp with the hero and hog it the whole game, you know. I do like the way you can spawn on the hero on this game and get your own little special class. Like the Emperor gets his Emperor's guards, and Leia gets like her special guard dude guys. I mean, I don't know, they're pretty cool. I like that. But I wish there were more hero power-ups on the map. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm new and I don't know exactly where they spawn yet. I just kind of roam around the map randomly, and then when I see one, I just run for it as fast as I can. Most of the time, I don't even make it. Somebody beats me to it. I love the turrets in this game, dude. Too, I noticed that a lot of people don't even bother with the turrets. They'll just walk by the turrets, or they'll ignore the turrets. And I tell you what, I'll get in these turrets and go on these crazy freaking streaks, man. Like, it's nothing to get like 5 or 6 kills every time you jump into a turret, because most people like will completely ignore you when you're in the turret. They'll just run away from you, and it's just easy prey. Like, I don't understand it, and a lot of people don't get in the turrets. Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. But overall, I do really like Star Wars Battlefront. It brings back so many memories from the original game. The gameplay feels just like the original. I love that. I surprisingly really like third person. I honestly thought I'd hate it, but I actually really like it. I like the star cards. Overall, I really like the game, but compared to its PS2 version, how innovative and just awesome the PS2 version was, it doesn't even compare. But overall, I do really like this game. I just wish it was better, like the PS2 version was. I'd love a campaign, love a Clone Wars, but let me know if you guys want to see any Star Wars Battlefront. Run out of time. This has been Ninja Cracker, and peace out.